Hey, it's a beautiful day on this lake not far outside of the city of Cochabamba in Bolivia. I am on my way towards Brazil, gradually making it there, and wanted to make this video. Now, apologies for any cars or motorcycles going by and maybe some cows in the distance, but this is the best that I could do given the circumstances. Now, I've been working on something very big and very important over about the past year. And if you care about photography, if you love photography, if you're not satisfied with, I don't know, just creating the same sort of crap that most people create out there photographically. And I don't want to sound negative to start off the video, but that's just the reality of things. There's so much imagery out there that is maybe pretty, but pretty cliched as well, and really very soulless. If you don't want to create those kinds of images, then you definitely want to stick around for this video. In creating this something, there was a risk. I really don't know how it's going to go down, and I realized that really not that many people are really serious about growing as photographers and taking the action to grow as photographers and consuming the kind of content that's not just your fast food, this one trick to such and such kind of photos, or one trick to get sharp photos, or one trick, to whatever. It's the kind of content that you sort of scroll through while you're taking a crap or trying to kill time. I'm not interested in creating that kind of content, so this will take a bit more effort to consume. It's not like it's something super complicated. I'm no rocket scientist. It's just that it'll need your attention. So all this to announce that I have a new course out, a new educational resource. I kind of lean more towards educational resource because it's made up of a few components. There's a digital book. There are more than 2 hours of videos, and there are ongoing exercises. The whole thing is about what I think is at the core of photography, really, the most important thing in photography, and that is visual communication. When I say visual communication, I don't mean photos that tell stories, because I actually don't believe that photos tell stories as such anyway. But photos can communicate very many things. They can communicate emotions, feelings, they can communicate a sense of mood, a sense of atmosphere, a sense of place, and certainly a sense of story as well. How do you get the people that you're showing the images to really understand what you wanted to communicate? I've developed a method over more than a decade, which is at the core of all of my photography, and whether the photographers know it or not, it's actually at the core of any great photos. It's just that sometimes we're not aware, not conscious of our actions, and I know that many great photographers are not. Many of us do things instinctually, but I thought, wouldn't it be great to break it all down, to make it really into a method so that I can have a higher success rate, basically. I made this resource with the following idea in mind. When we're a little further along in our photographic journey, I think that often we say, well, I'm only about one image away from really having things click, from getting noticed by maybe an editor, from winning a competition, whatever it is that you aim to do. You kind of feel like you're almost there. And I tend to agree with that, except it's usually not just one image, but it's being able to create that image and to really be conscious, to really understand what it is that made that image click and come together, and to be able to replicate the impact of that one great image. That's kind of the whole idea behind this resource. No more about it for now. It's launching next week. What I really want to tell you in this video is that it's kind of become a tradition. Whenever I launch something, whenever I run a special on something, I usually upload a series of videos that are related to the subject. So that's exactly what I'm going to do over the next 3 weeks. I'm going to upload 3 videos that I think will really help you with your visual communication. Now, these videos, they will be tasters for what's in the whole resource, but there's definitely a lot of information in them. They are standalone. You will be able to get a lot out of them. Those of you who are already subscribed to my newsletter, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but if you're not, then I will go so far as to say that these videos will be eye-opening, and I don't want to throw the word around lightly, but they will be revolutionary to your approach to photography. You'll definitely change the way that you see photography, that you approach every scene, the way that you make photos. There's no doubt about that in my mind, that if you are not familiar with these concepts, they're going to take you down a very different path to where you were perhaps before. I know that some of you, and I kind of put myself into this category, are very good at extracting the maximum amount of information from maybe even just watching one thing. You absorb everything and then you start to use the information right away. And that's great. I can say that there will probably be some food for thought for you for like the next couple of years at least. And you might think, well, that sounds like a little bit insane. But remember that to actually really master the concepts, you have to be out there shooting in different situations. So I figure that it'll take you at least a couple of years to put yourself in all of these different kinds of situations. For me, I'm still mastering all of these concepts. I'm very aware of them, but I'm mastering them as I encounter different situations all around the world. And I think that's the great thing about this method that I will be sharing, that you can use it throughout your entire life, your entire photographic journey. Anyway, I do hope that you tune in. Thanks so much for your time today, and see you soon.